Bill Burr, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. I just watched your Netflix special from Red Rocks last night and wanted to ask you, how'd you like the shrooms?
Well, as much as I had a bad trip, they really helped me out. Yeah, I did. I didn't enjoy going to the dark place, but it helped me undo that part of my brain, and I feel like it made me a lighter person mentally, which is making me a better husband and father. So I would say I love them.
You know, I've only been to Red Rocks once, and it was back in the 90s for a concert, and I was just going to say I was chemically enhanced there, too. So, yeah, I think that made me a better person, at least a little.
Who did you see?
I saw it was Fatboy Slim and the Chemical Brothers, so it was like this EDM rave thing.
Oh, nice. Good deal.
Yeah, it was a good time. The walls of the amphitheater there, Red Rocks, were definitely breathing with the music, so that was a hell of a night, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I got to say,
I don't know if I could handle that. I don't know if I could handle with all of those people. I think I'd get a little freaked out.
Well, you know, that was the thing. Too many people, but I just closed my eyes and pretended like I was alone with really loud headphones on, and it worked out getting better that way.
There you go.
I was about to dig into your award-winning show, or at least a nominated show, Immoral Compass on Roku, but to be honest, there's so many damn streaming options. I didn't even know I had a TV with Roku in my house. It's like, is that one of those things that drives you nuts that there's so many services now? You get into one show and then everybody's got all these other shows and it's just too much?
No, because if there wasn't all those streaming platforms and things, I probably wouldn't be on TV because show business was never looking for a bald, middle-aged redhead. Trust me.
Well, you're on a bunch of them now. You're on the Netflix specials. You did Hulu's Reservoir Dogs. You've got the Roku Immoral Compass. And now you're even doing Disney on the Mandalorian guest spots. That's got to be badass.
Yeah, all of those have been super fun. And, that Reservation Dogs really, snuck up on me as far as, I wasn't aware of the show. And I remember reading the script. And I had an offer to do something a little more known or something, but I've always just gone down the road of just picking what is written the best. And I just really feel like if it's written well, then there's going to be a really good director that responds to it. And it's just, that's the biggest thing I think with is what's on the page. Because the better it is, the better the people you're going to work in, and then the better chance you have of coming off good. Because the tough thing and the respect I have for acting and actors is you're just so at the mercy of the whole process of the director, the writing, the editing of it, and the music that they put underneath it, and you just hope that you're in good hands. And I just knew when I read that script for Reservation Dogs, I was like, I'm old now, so I call them kids. I know these kids know what they're doing, and I think that this is a really good opportunity to do something a little bit different, which is what I try to do with my stand-up sets, show my specials and stuff. And I went there and just had such a great time, and I love Oklahoma and that part of the country and stuff. So it was one of the better experiences I've had recently acting.
When you're doing the Immoral Compass, that's a thing that you're actually really hands-on with. I think it's Bill Burr Presents Immoral Compass. Did you get to pick writers and directors specifically that you wanted to work with for that?
That was one of the easiest gigs I had. That was all Tyler Falbo who directed that thing. You got to watch that series. That series, I swear to God, if more people knew about it, you got to see. There's one in there. That Tyler did that stars Vince Vaughn and Bobby Lee. And just the two of them together, Vince is a giant of a man. He's 6'5", and Bobby Lee's 5'6". Just the two of them standing next to each other, playing a couple of drinking buddies. You got to see that. Al Madrigal, who is another comedian, very quietly, is one of the best actors out there. There's just so much talent that was in that show, and we got the Emmy nod, so I'm thinking we got a pretty good chance of getting another season, hopefully. All I did, that character I played was one day. I went in and we shot all of them, the wraparounds, and which was actually the idea of this guy Doug Herzog at Quibi, which is where it was supposed to be, and then that went under because of COVID. But that was his idea to do that. Fellow Emerson graduate, and I just showed up. The hair and makeup people killed it, and I just went in there, smoked a cigar, and went off, and we had a blast. And that's another one where, like, Tyler Falvo is just an absolutely brilliant writer and director. Another young kid, and he actually helped me with my script for this Old Dad's movie I'm doing for Miramax. Like, he just gave me some great feedback on it, and I've been really lucky that I ended up working with super talented people, and they're making me look like I know what I'm doing. I mean, that's the formula right there.
I got to say, I was impressed thinking back. You just said the hair and makeup people did a great job. Yeah, that's not your real hair on your head in that one, is it?
No. I came up with the idea where I was just like, I wanted it. The thing is, I wanted to see a guy who you could see sort of peaked in the 90s. So there's a little bit of a tribal tattoo peeking out from underneath his sleeve.
Saw that one, yeah.
Yeah, he's still, like, it's been a minute since, I kind of looked at the thing that the get up that we did. But there was, I remember what it was. It was like, I remember back then when guys would get hair plugs, they had like that looked at doll hair, those ant legs.
Yeah.
And they would get like the first few of them, for whatever reason, they'd either run out of money or it was too painful. And they would just grow them out long and just comb like these 18 strands across the top of their head. And I was like, I want to do that. So that he still has his mullet from the 90s. He's lost the roof. He's got the tribal tattoo. His marriage has fallen apart. And he's just one of these guys that's, I was just thinking of that U2 song, Stuck in a Moment, You Can't Get Out of It. He's kind of like, that's kind of where this guy is. And, Tyler gave me a lot of great direction on it. Like, on this one, try to do it a little bit like this. And, that was just, that's how I do. Like, I'm a stand-up comedian. I act when they let me. And when I do the acting stuff, I just try to just pick something that seems like it's going to be fun.
And you mentioned Al Madrigal. I loved him when I first saw him on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart, and he's just really come into his own acting and everything. He's hilarious.
Yeah, what was that movie he did with Ben Affleck, that basketball movie? There's just so much stuff out there. Like, I just saw like the trailer for that, and like he's just really natural and really present, and there's something about him to his look, like you like root for him.
Yeah. Or
maybe it's the characters that he plays, but he has way more in the tank. And if you watch this Immoral Compass, you start to see the darker side of Al Madrigal. And the one thing I love about Al, aside from how talented and hilarious he is, this is his bloodline. He's half Sicilian, half Mexican. So like this is not a guy you want to get on his bad side. I used to do like this podcast thing with him, or this live show. Oh, it was a live show. We used to do it at Nerd Melt, which unfortunately no longer exists out here in LA, another real estate casualty. But every week he would have some story of how somebody wronged him in the regular world, and then the vengeance that he took upon them. And, about 3 weeks in, I started to be like, going like, Al, I think this is you. And he would laugh. He goes, I know it's me. I'm working on it. But he's like, he's such a fascinating guy where he's just a really, really like big-hearted, like family man guy who really he's kind of like that. He's like Liam Neeson. Like, he's just this guy. Like, if you mess with Al Madrigal's family, he would hunt you down and he would call you up. I'm going to kill you and you're going to die. And you would.
He's your best friend until you piss him off, right?
I would never get it. No, he's one of those guys, like, there's something wrong with you if you piss him off. That's another thing that I love about that guy is, like, he's never gotten pissed at something that I didn't understand. I'm like, No, that's justified. I don't know about what you did to rectify it. That got a little sideways, but like he's a righteous guy, man. I love the guy.
I love it. You're a big baseball fan, and I bet watching a game of baseball with you is a hell of an experience, especially if your team starts to lose, huh?
Yeah, I'm not as bad as I used to be, but I'm a fan of all sports, and I try to hang in there with the NBA, but I just can't ignore what I'm watching. It's assisted reality. It's an easily manipulated game, and I just think all of these super teams, these pile-on teams, it's like like the Big Brother reality show now. And I'm not saying that they fix the games, but there's just like they do everything they can. Like, I just think they look at the ratings like any other network, and they're like, these are the two teams that are getting the most ratings, or these are the two players that are the most popular. Let's stick them on the same team. And then let's do everything we can to make sure they go as deep into the playoffs as they possibly can. I'm not saying it's straight up fixed, but like, it's the only game where you can take a star out of the game and just stick them on the bench. 2 quick fouls in the first quarter. You can just, baseline is your friend. If you're a referee, whatever.
I think maybe they should. I'm a hockey fan, so I think they should add in like the hockey rules. You just let them fight every now and then and work it out that way. Comedian Joe Bartnick gave me this great book that has, all these years of watching hockey. I thought I understood the whole enforcement game, and like it's a really fascinating job aside from the obvious. But like, there's so many times where no fight even happens, where it's just starting to get crazy, and they'll send the enforcer out there, and right before the face-off, he'll just sort of talk out loud to nobody, going, it's getting kind of crazy out here, keeps going this way. I don't know. Somebody might get hurt, and then sometimes that's all you need to say. Sometimes you need to drop the gloves and like this, knowing when to do it, where you're not hurting your team and you're giving them a jolt of energy. And, you forget that guy's out there sticking up for people, and he's kind of like your big brother out there. And if he's willing to go out there and, get into a fight, hurts. Even if you win, it hurts your hands, and, and you're going to take a couple of shots. And it's just like, they did a great job of really explaining how it affects your other teammates. So it's like, but this guy's out there willing to, do what he just did. I think I can try a little harder on my next shift, and how it gives the team a jolt. It almost sounds like they're just yelling out random mob threats. Like, you got some nice fingers there. It'd be a shame if somebody were to skate them off. Yeah. Like they go like Joe Pesci. Exactly. It's a great analogy. I love it. Bill, thanks so much for calling in this morning. November 19th, Amway Center in Orlando. Can't wait to see you live. Always hilarious. Have a great day, my friend. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you.